Alright guys, so second video in this Factors for Achieving Your Personal Maximum Growth Rate series. First video, I listed out all the factors that I personally believe, from my experience, are the order of importance in determining if you'll experience your personal maximum lean muscle growth rate or not. In this video, I want to cover number 2 and 3 on the list, calories and correct training. First up, calories. Simply not eating enough is top of the list where people go wrong when trying to put size on. Here's the thing you have to realize, guys. You cannot make something out of nothing. I want to be very clear here. Muscle growth is not optimized in a calorie deficit. However, when someone is at a higher scale of carrying body fat, their body can be in a calorie deficit and still actually build muscle. The way this works is because your body will use fat stores to fuel itself. Now, as we get leaner, this process becomes more difficult though, and getting those other factors that I previously listed out in the first video of the series, from correct training through to stress management, quality sleep, and macronutrient ratios, all on the money, becomes increasingly even more important. Eventually, we will stop gaining any more muscle mass, regardless of what we do, and a calorie surplus has to be applied. Otherwise, we'll come nowhere even close to gaining lean muscle at what we're genetically entitled to. So if you're struggling to gain weight, as in your weight is not steadily increasing over the weeks, you need to eat more. I don't care what your calculations say you need to be eating, you need to realize calculations are a great place to start. But adjustments need to be made if they're not producing results, and likely calories need to be bumped up. Now, the next factor in determining whether you'll grow to your maximum individual growth rate comes down to whether you're applying a proper stimulus to force adaptation. Basically, what I'm saying is, are you training correctly with proper intensity, intelligent volume, and calculated frequency? If you do not have sufficient training stimulus to force your body to need to change, then you will not grow, and the majority of the calorie surplus that you're eating to allow muscle growth to occur will instead store as fat. Here's something that I need to point out, that training intensity, volume, and frequency is individual. Just like how I mentioned when I was talking about the calorie surplus. If your calorie surplus calculations are still not producing results, then you need to make adjustments. Calculations are just starting points, but adjustments need to be applied based on how you respond. Exactly the same when it comes to training. Adjustments in intensity, volume, and frequency need to be applied in accordance with how you are responding or not responding. For someone starting out, this can be completely dumbfounding. How can you make adjustments when you're not even sure where you're meant to be at? How do you even know what an acceptable rate of response even is? Likewise, even if you're an experienced lifter, wherever you are right now in your lifting life is still the first time you've been at this point in your journey. How are you meant to know what rate of growth you should be progressing at this very stage? Well, first and foremost, I would say, if you have the ability, is to use an experienced coach. Someone who has personal years of experience under the belt and have already gone past the point where you're currently at. As well, has taken a broad range of individuals from different experience levels successfully well past where you currently find yourself. Then go for it. Employ their services. If having a coach isn't an option for you, then in future videos, I'll briefly explain what I feel from my experience and experience with hundreds of individual clients, what rates of growth you should be aiming for and measuring your effectiveness of your training protocols against. Now, next video, guys, I'm going to look at the 4th and 5th most important factors to you being able to grow muscle mass at your maximum genetic rate, and that's sufficient protein as well as stress management.